In the late 1960s, a shadow fell over Northern California. A killer who craved the spotlight, who played a deadly game with the police and the public. He called himself the Zodiac. For decades, his identity has remained one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American criminal history, leaving behind a trail of terror, cryptic messages, and a chilling question. Who was he? The story begins on the night of December 20th, 1968. On Lake Herman Road in Benicia, high school students David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen were on their first date. In a quiet lover's lane, their lives were brutally cut short by a man with a gun. It was a senseless, shocking crime, but it was only the beginning. The police had few leads and no motive. For months, the case grew cold until the killer struck again. On July 4th, 1969, at Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo, just a few miles from the first crime scene, Darlene Ferren and Michael Mageau were sitting in their car when another vehicle pulled up. A man approached with a flashlight and a handgun. He fired multiple shots into the car. Darlene was killed, but Michael, despite being shot in the face, neck, and chest, miraculously survived. This time, the killer didn't just vanish into the night. Less than an hour after the attack, a man called the Vallejo Police Department in a calm, monotone voice. He claimed responsibility for both the Blue Rock Springs shooting and the murders on Lake Herman Road. The reign of the Zodiac had officially begun. The caller had given a dark name to the faceless terror that was haunting the Bay Area. But a phone call wasn't enough for him. The Zodiac wanted fame. On August 1st, 1969, three major newspapers, the Vallejo Times-Herald, the San Francisco Chronicle, and the San Francisco Examiner each received a handwritten letter. The author claimed responsibility for the murders and provided details that only the killer could know. He signed them with a cross-circle symbol, a mark that would become synonymous with fear. But there was more. Each letter contained 1/3 of a 408-symbol cryptogram. The Zodiac demanded the newspapers publish his cipher on their front pages, threatening more violence if they refused. "If you do not print this cipher," he wrote, "I will go on a kill rampage." The press complied, and the entire Bay Area, from police departments to amateur sleuths, became obsessed with cracking the code. Just a week later, a high school teacher named Donald Harden and his wife Betty managed to solve it. The message was chillingly misspelled and it read, "I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all. To kill something gives me the most thrilling experience. The best part of it is that when I die, I will be reborn in paradise, and all the I have killed will become my slaves." The message gave a terrifying glimpse into a disturbed and arrogant mind. The Zodiac continued his deadly spree. On September 27th, 1969, he targeted another young couple, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, at Lake Bury. This time, he appeared in a bizarre, full executioner-style hood and a bib decorated with his symbol. He tied them up before stabbing them repeatedly with a large knife. Before leaving, he walked over to Brian's car and drew the Zodiac symbol on the door, along with the dates of his previous attacks. He then drove to a payphone and once again called the police to report his double murder. Cecilia Shepard died from her injuries 2 days later. Brian Hartnell, despite being stabbed multiple times in the back, survived to describe the hooded attacker. Just 2 weeks later, the Zodiac's terror moved into the heart of San Francisco. On October 11th, 1969, taxi driver Paul Stein picked up a passenger. At the intersection of Washington and Cherry Streets, the passenger shot Stein in the head, took his wallet and car keys, and tore off a piece of his blood-soaked shirt. 3 teenagers saw the attack from a window across the street and called the police. The initial description dispatched was of a black male suspect, a critical error that allowed the actual killer, a white male, to walk away unquestioned when police officers passed him just blocks from the scene. Days later, the San Francisco Chronicle received another letter. This one contained a piece of Paul Stein's bloody shirt, proving the author was indeed the killer. In Tees Leader, the Zodiac mocked the police for their mistake and chillingly threatened to attack a school bus full of children. The city was gripped by panic. Police escorted school buses, and children were taught how to drop to the floor and hide. The Zodiac was not just a murderer. He was a domestic terrorist, holding an entire region hostage with fear. For the next 5 years, the Zodiac continued to torment authorities and the public with a barrage of letters and cards. He sent more ciphers, mocked investigators by name, and gave himself a running tally of victims. which he claimed was 37, far more than the 5 murders and 2 attempted murders officially attributed to him. He sent a Halloween card to journalist Paul Avery, who was covering the case extensively, and even a bomb diagram, threatening to blow up a building. One of his most famous and complex ciphers, the Z340 cipher, remained unsolved for 51 years. It was a tantalizing puzzle that stumped FBI cryptographers and amateur codebreakers for half a century. Then, in December of 2020, a team of private citizens from around the world, David Oranchak, a software developer, Sam Blake, an applied mathematician, and Gerald Van Eyck, a programmer, finally cracked it. The message, similar to the first, was a rambling, taunting note. It read, in part, "I hope you are having lots of fun and trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner because I now have enough slaves to work for me." After a final letter sent in 1974, the Zodiac's communications abruptly stopped. He simply vanished, leaving a legacy of fear and unanswered questions. Over the years, countless theories have emerged and numerous suspects have been investigated. The most prominent suspect has always been Arthur Lee Allen, a former schoolteacher with a troubled past. Police had strong circumstantial evidence against him. He was in the vicinity of the crimes, owned a watch with a Zodiac brand, and reportedly confessed to a friend that he wanted to hunt people with a gun and flashlight. A survivor, Michael Mago, even identified him from a photo lineup years later. However, Allen's fingerprints and DNA did not match samples from the Zodiac letters, and he passed a polygraph test. He died in 1992, taking any secrets he might have had to the grave. Other suspects have been named, from a reclusive movie poster artist to a newspaper editor, but no definitive evidence has ever tied anyone to all the crimes. Each theory brings a flurry of excitement, but ultimately, the case remains cold. Today, the Zodiac case continues to fascinate and haunt us. The killer was more than a murderer. He was a media manipulator, a brand builder of terror. He used the press to amplify his message and cement his place in the dark annals of true crime. He created a persona that has been explored in books, documentaries, and films. Most notably, David Fincher's 2007 masterpiece, Zodiac. Will we ever know his true identity? With advances in forensic genealogy, the same technology that identified the Golden State Killer, there is still hope. Police investigators and dedicated citizen detectives continue to sift through old evidence, searching for that one elusive clue that could finally unmask the man behind the cross-circle symbol. Until that day comes, the Zodiac Killer remains a ghost, a chilling symbol of a mystery that has endured for over half a century. A killer who taunted the world, claimed 37 lives, and then disappeared, leaving us with his cryptic puzzles and the terrifying echo of his words. The search for the Zodiac isn't just about solving a crime. It's about giving a name to the faceless evil that terrorized a generation and continues to hold our collective imagination captive. Thanks for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries.